Hi, my name is George Dagnino, and what I would like to do today is to talk to you about global business cycles and an amazing relationship that exists between them and the financial markets. There are three main tools available to investors to compete in the marketplace. There's the business cycle, relative strength, and momentum. Relative strength and momentum, I will deal with them in a different video. Let me concentrate on the business cycle. What I would like to do is to show you that the global business cycles are synchronized. In other words, they all move in the same direction and have the same turning points. And the other amazing thing is that US business cycle, which is driven by US business decision, is totally synchronized to the global business cycles. Let me show you how. This is the business cycle of the global economy as published by the OECD in Paris. It's published around the 3rd or the 4th of every month from on their website. I'm going to give you some dates that you probably should remember because this will show you how synchronized all the other business cycles are. Let me show you the global business cycles slow down from 11 to 12. Then at 12 and 13 expanded. Then the global business cycle slowed down between 14 and 15, accelerated 16 to 18, and now from early 2018 is now slowing down again. This is a global business cycle. This is the US business cycle as published by the OECD, by the way. Again, it shows that the US economy slowed down during 2014-15, improved 2015-18, and it slowed down again. It started slowing down in 2018. This is the business cycle of the Eurozone. And you can see from 2014-16, the economy really, the European economy did not do much. Then in 16-18 strengthened, and sure enough, starting in 2018, started slowing down. This is the Chinese business cycle. Again, 14-15 slowed down, 16 started strengthening, and beginning in 18 slowing down, and is still slowing down like the other two business cycles. The Japanese business cycle had the same trends as the US and the global business cycle. Slowed down 2014-15. It improved a little bit 16 to 2018, and now is heading down like all the other countries. Well, by now you are beginning to see the pattern. For the Germany business cycle, again, slow down 2014-15, strengthening from 2016 to 18, and now slowing down from 2018. I think what is the most amazing thing about all this business cycles, and by the way, it's not finished, is that if you noticed, I use different cultures from the American culture, Chinese, European, Japanese, different political systems from dictatorship in China, bureaucrats in Europe, very close system in Japan, different economic system, market system oriented in the US, social democrat in China, in Europe, dictatorship in China, different debt levels, different demographics, younger people, older people, different geographic locations. So you have everything is different among all these regions, economic regions, yet they all have the same turning points in their business cycles. This to me is amazing from an investment, not only because it is amazing, but also from an investment viewpoint, by the way, if you think about it very carefully. Why do we bother trying to understand the action of the business cycles, and why do we want to understand what are the reasons why the business cycles are so coordinated? Well, because obviously the business cycle drives, if you read my books, drives all asset prices, as I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes. So it's crucial in managing your money. Let me show you. Again, remember that the 2014-16 was a period of slowdown. 16-17 was a period of expansion, a stronger growth, and then slower growth started in 2018. Let me show you something that I think it's amazing how what's going on in the United States is very closely related to all the other business cycles around the world. What this graphs show is the change in inventory levels relative to sales in business, wholesalers, and total business. When this curve rises, okay, that means that inventories are growing faster than sales. So that is bad news because business doesn't like that, because inventories are a cost to business. So what business does slows down production. Then sales start growing faster than inventory. This is good news for business. Now they have to increase production because they have to replenish inventories to meet sales. Then sales here have been growing in line with inventories, and then suddenly in 2018, inventory started growing faster than sales, or sales slowed down and inventory started growing faster. So the response, the business decision for manufacturers and total businesses is to slow down production. So in this phase, you have growth slowing down because inventories have to be cut. Here you have production improving because inventories have been to be replenished. And here again, production has to be slowed down and the economy slows down because sales are growing less than inventories. Now, if you look at all these waves and the cyclical timing, they coincide exactly with the cyclical timing in China, in Europe, in Japan, and around the world. And I think this is amazing. But I want to show you how this curve that is driven by business decision drives also prices. In order to recognize why the inventory cycle is tied to market prices is that in order to build inventories, business has to buy raw materials, has to hire more people, and has to borrow money. I mean, you need raw materials to build products, so the demand for raw materials increases. Of course, if you want to hire more people and you have to buy more raw materials, you have to borrow money. So what happens? It's not a coincidence that when the business cycle is on an upswing, the first thing that moves is commodities. If commodities go up, you know that the economy is strengthening because business is buying raw materials to build products. And on the other hand, that's the time also when short-term interest rates start picking up. It's not a coincidence that as the inventory cycle turned down in early 2018, in fact, a little before that, the Federal Reserve made the famous quote-unquote pivot by saying we are now going to quote-unquote raise interest rates. The Fed does not raise interest rates. It's business demand for working capital that to finance working capital that pushes interest rates higher or lower. So you can rest assured that when there is an upswing, you will see upward pressure on short-term interest rates and commodities, and when there is a downswing in the inventory cycle, instead you will see commodities going down and short-term interest rates and possibly long-term interest rates also declining.